Deadlock
Deadlock
is a game from Valve that we've been trying to get our hands on for a freaking long ass time. Valve didn't answer the call. They didn't give us our codes. Really sad about that. People have been playing the shit out of this game.
Don't they know who we are?
I know. And I'm like, how the hell do we get this? And thank goodness one of Austin's friends was like, yo, I got the hookup. I was like, you're my hero. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to all our Discord members that are helping us out, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it.
Shout out to everybody on Discord. Thank y'all. So we finally got a code for this game. I have downloaded it. I have played several matches of this game. And this is so freaking fun.
Yeah?
I'm freaking loving it.
I'm listening.
I was like having such a good time.
Sell it to us.
Here's the thing.
What?
This is not a game for everybody. This is
unsold.
We're talking to a casual gaming audience.
If it's not for everybody, it's not for me.
We're talking to a casual gaming audience, and this is a bit more of a hardcore game than I think most of our audiences are used to. This is at its core, Deadlock is a third-person shooter, but really it's more of a third-person. It's a third-person MOBA.
Okay.
Because this is League of Legends, but third-person action. Very much. I mean, every aspect of this is MOBA mechanics, except your different perspective, and that's essentially what you're doing here. And it's set in this weird, like, kind of steampunk, historical vibe with kind of like gothic, steampunky kind of look, and it works really, really well. And I've never seen something like this before, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of BioShock Infinite, but not really BioShock Infinite. There's also some of We Happy Few kind of vibes going on here. And then a lot of character designs. Like, there's a shit ton of characters in this game already. I didn't count, but I would say there's probably at least 20. 15 or 20 characters available, and they're all very, very different. Like, very, very different. It's kind of insane how unique they are. And the way the setup works is you're playing a MOBA. It is 6v6, and you have your 4 dedicated lanes. And just like in a MOBA game, you have your creep that advance down the lanes and go towards different key objectives on the map. So you have these sentinel kind of like characters or tower, like bad guy things that are the first lines of defense that you have to use your creep and your team to run up to. And they have this like little flaming head thing, and they're really powerful, and they try and kill you. That stand there and guard. You have to take them down, I think 3 or 4 times until you get to the first line of defense at the enemy base. And then you eventually take down, they're called Guardians. And then you take down the enemy base, and there's several lines of defense there at the enemy base to then take out the main objective to win the game. And up in the top center of the map, you'll see a little indicator that shows you colors of what you've completed versus the other team has completed on the map. And there's basically like 4, 8, 9 objectives basically for each team to complete. 9. But when you're in the main base, like, there's a shit ton of stuff there. So basically what you do is start of the game, you pick a lane, and they have these little rails up at the top of the map that I didn't know what they were for when I was watching all the demos and stuff of it. But the rails are for you to grind the rail to get to the action faster.
Almost like BioShock Infinite.
Yeah. So you just double click spacebar to jump up on one of the rails, and they're color coded. So you can see the colors going through as like light on the rails that indicates what lane you're traveling on. And you just jump up to then slide down that rail to get you to the front lines of that lane. And then you can start attacking and doing action. And then in the opposite fashion, if you're getting shot at and dying and need to go back and heal, you have to not be being shot at, because if you're in combat, you can't use the rail. But once you're out of combat, you jump up on that rail and you can glide yourself back and then heal. And there's also a buy station back at the home base where you can like upgrade your character. And they do a really good job at making it not overwhelming. This is actually what they just showed there is the character upgrade screen. So it's they do a pretty good job at like making the character upgrades. There's a lot of upgrades for your character, but they have a recommended version for you to see that tells you like, okay, here's your recommended menu, and here's your early game upgrades, your mid game upgrades, and your late game upgrades. And as you're progressing through the game, you're collecting these souls from the people you kill, from the creep that you kill on the map. And you'll also notice sometimes when you're killing bad guys, there's these little like souls that'll fly up in the air. If you shoot those, you get bonus souls. So you want to be killing creep and bad guys and taking the souls. And also if you kill an enemy character, you can take their souls, which takes away, I think, souls from them.
So another player.
Correct. Yeah. And so all those souls are your currency to be able to upgrade your character to get stronger.
Okay.
And you also have your abilities. So across the bottom, you have your 4 main abilities. You have your 3 regular abilities, and there's 1 ultimate. And then at the very beginning, you can unlock 1 ability. And as you progress your character and unlock and get more experience points, you can upgrade or unlock the other abilities. And then eventually you can upgrade the abilities themselves and make them stronger as time goes on.
I really thought this was another hero shooter.
I know, right?
Like the first time I saw it, but like,
No.
Lord.
Yeah. It's very much it's a MOBA. It's 100% a MOBA. It feels daunting. Like it really feels overwhelming, especially the UI. There's a lot of stuff going on screen. But once you get into it, you kind of it makes sense after, and they have a really good tutorial system in this game.
That's what I was about to ask.
That walks you through the tutorial. So like the first thing they do is they have like a series of mini videos that explain every aspect of the game. And then you go into a basic match where you just like learn how to use the basic abilities of a character. And then there's a test ground where you can swap out to any of the heroes and play on AI creep and guardians the different abilities to test out your character in that play space. And that's like when the early video footage came out of this game, all that footage was from the playground area, not an actual map, which is why it was like less detailed and stuff like that, which the game actually has a lot. It's a very desaturated looking game, but I think it works for the vibe of the game itself, because there's a lot of colors through the direction in the world and then the characters that you're playing.
I like the character designs of all of them. Looks super cool.
Yeah. And I know, Austin, you were talking about how you were worried about match time. You're like, oh, if it's 45 minutes, I don't want to play it. I haven't had a match go longer than 25 minutes. So that was kind of refreshing to see, because I was like worried that it was going to be super. It's still long, but it's not as long as I expected.
Well, my friend Ryan, who's been playing this a lot with his friends, said the longest map he's played was 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
And I can see
it
that.
could go to 2 hours. It just depends. And obviously, yeah, I guess if you know what you're doing and their team knows what they're doing, there's that push and pull that you get.
Yeah.
And it can become like a whole tedious thing. And it's like, eventually, I feel like it's going to happen. How common it is, I guess I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on, because there was one map I was playing where we were clearly losing. Like they had pushed down to our base, and we were holding them back. But I was like, "There's no chance we're gonna be able to push these guys back." So the people in chat were just like, "Let's just lose it," like let them take it over, But if you have somebody on your team that's like, "No, I'm gonna keep trying," then you could have a match that goes like that. But
Yeah.
the couple matches that I did play were exactly like 25 to 30 minutes tops kind of thing. But it could get long. It could for sure get long. There's also a ranked mode that unlocks later in this game, but you have to get level 50. So you got to play a shit ton in order to get to ranked mode. So I think that's good, because like ranked is for the hardcore, and this is a game that has a very high skill ceiling that, this is a game for the people that play Counter-Strike 2 on a daily basis and that play League of Legends on a daily basis. And it's got that vibe, but there's a lot of really interesting approachable aspects to this that they tell you what are the best new player characters, and they tell you a lot of tutorial. Like there's a very good onboarding system to this that made me catch on to the game very quickly, which I really appreciate, which I wouldn't expect anything less from Valve. But what I played though, I had this one character I was playing, I forget the character's name, but it was uses a lot of like electricity. Let me pull it up real quick.
The Vampire Sniper is what I was looking at.
Yeah, the Vampire Sniper looks pretty cool.
She can float. She can shoot like a sniper.
Yeah, and you can stay. It's nice to stay back too, because the character I was playing is close range kind of character, but puts out a lot of power, which was good. Let's see here. Where is my character? I play Dynamo, which is what we're watching right now. That's more of a brute close up character. They have Infernus, which does a lot of fire kind of fighting. Kelvin, which is like more of an ice character. Let's see, Lash, McGinnis, Mo and Krill, Paradox. Where is the character? Oh, here we go. Seven. That's who I'm playing. It's a character named Seven. So there's a lightning ball that I can drop out that shoots out balls of lightning in a line, and then I have a static charge that basically applies to an enemy and stuns them and damages enemies within the radius of that stun character. So that's a way to kind of like gank somebody, like hit the stun character, freeze them, and then it also damages anybody that's surrounding them. There's a power surge, which just powers up my gun that adds shock damage to my bullets, and then a storm cloud that will throw out a area of effect storm cloud that damages enemies within the radius and line of sight in that space. So those different objectives were really nice to kind of take people out. And if you have a good team that's like working together, it's like you can go target, stun one character, have another person come in and do some damage to them, another character do another like major ultimate damage thing, and you can like take a character out pretty quickly. And just like in a MOBA, the more you die, the longer it takes to respawn. So you don't want to die. And that gets kind of crazy because there's very long respawn timers. Like I got to a point where I was like 45 seconds respawn timer.
Jesus.
Which sucked because I was dying a lot. There was this one guy that just like destroyed the shit out of me, and I was like, okay, he's too good. But I was like guarding the lane by myself, so I was like, you know what to do. So it was a rough situation, but it's a crazy cool game though. It's a really different feeling. I mean, it's like when that Paragon game came out. I think it was Paragon, and then Smite. Smite's similar to this game
Paragon,
too.
I enjoyed.
Yeah, but this one has a lot of style, I think, that I find really interesting. And it's just, I mean, just again, Valve does a really, really good job with just a lot of cool features that you don't often see. But it's fun. It's new. It's different.
Looks fun.
I mean, I got it, so I mean, I'd play it.
Yeah.
Do you want to code?
I don't know. Sure.
We can invite you.
Okay.
Now that we have access, you know.
Yeah. I know a guy. Knows a guy. Get you something.
Yeah. But I don't know when this game's releasing, but you know, they're doing updates regularly. It's kind of crazy. It's just so wild to me how this game was like nobody knew about it. There was a lot of people that were playing it, and they just like denied existence of it for a little bit, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, here's a Steam page for it.
Even after
like,
it
there's
leaked,
no marketing.
yeah.
They just like let the community kind of market it for you and stuff. And
I do appreciate that though. Like if a game's good, people are gonna hear about it.
yeah,
I mean, that's happened to what was the Pokemon game that we all liked, Power World.
Power World.
Yeah.
Like, that just blew up.
That's what they were going to do with that newest Spider-Man movie. They weren't even going to come out with a trailer, just a poster, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
No.
No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
I wish they would have done that.
That would've been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been. People would have lost their minds.
Yep.
yeah.
Cool.
So what do y'all think of this overall? I mean, like,
I like the vibe of it. Looks
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, when we first talked about it and saw the leaked footage, I was like, yeah, I can get into it.
Yeah.
Especially the amount of characters they have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
definitely do the tutorial.
Okay,
you
good enough.
have to do the tutorial.
Yep.
And once you get past that, you know, you jump in a match. You can also early game, you can jump in a match with just bots if you want to.
Oh, nice.
So you don't have to play against humans right off the bat.
That's nice.
So there's like that mode. So there's play with bots, play with humans, and then eventually there's a ranked mode that'll unlock. And then there's just like a training area where you can just like test out all the different heroes and stuff. Yeah.
I want it like this, and I want to play it, but I just feel like it's gonna be tough. It's one of those games that I feel like you just like. This is the game you play.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That is a tricky part. It's like, you know, especially with us just talking about Black Ops, and we're like, that's our game, and I'm still in the finals. You know, it's like, okay, here's another game that you can sink your teeth into. Like,
got to drop something,
crazy
man.
amounts, you know.
I know. Because I feel like obviously there's gonna be people who are gonna love this game. This is all they do, and then you get matched with them, and you get destroyed. It's like I didn't even stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's like not a solo game. I know there's people out there that can play it solo, but like until you understand, like, get your characters that you're like really, really good at, like you kind of have to have at least one other person with you that you can help jive off of each other. Because like if you have two people against like one enemy, you know, that's playing in there, you can easily take him down and like gank them. And the more you can take down enemy players, the more experience points you're going to get to level up your character faster.
Right.
Yeah, walkers are the last line of defense. So you have the guardians first, and then you have a big ass walker, and then you go into the main enemy base and start taking that down. So it's cool. Deadlock available now if you can find a friend that can give you a code. So if y'all are interested in playing, you should join our Discord channel and you know, hit us up. Might be able to give you an invite.
Hook you up.
Yeah.
No promises. Just to let you know.
Yeah, no promises. I don't know if there's like a limit or not, but
I believe there is.
yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe not.
Cool. Yeah. So there you go. Deadlock, Valve's new game. I think it's gonna be a big one. I think they got a winner on their hands.